7th. And I'm just going to get the link up here so I can tweet it out. Welcome, welcome. We have some big thunderstorms going on right now. So if the power were to go out, I just want to put it up there so you guys know that it's wild and crazy outside of my office today. Well, it likely is due to be wild and crazy. And we will be talking about the perfect storm setup in the market today. It has been a while, and I'm gonna be completely honest that honestly, I was feeling a bit burnt out. Studying for my CMT exam, 2 girls home, my daughter finished school, my dad was in the hospital, somebody else very close was in the hospital as well. It was too much all at once, and I was really feeling super burnt out. And so I just said, you know what, there's only so much time in the day. My daughter is home from school last week, so I thought, you know what, let's simply just take some personal time. So I missed you guys, but it was nothing personal. And if you notice as well that on the screen, I have changed it up a little bit. You can see I have It's Airplane Jane, that is Twitter and Getter. I did change, and I'm going off of Facebook, my professional page, because I had issues with the, oops, undo that. I had issues with the messaging. So I can't get to the messages, and so I feel very frustrated because I know people are probably frustrated with the fact that I haven't responded. It's because I cannot access them. So what good is it if I can't access it for people? I can only post there. And in fact, it was not possible for me to post everywhere. It was issues. So rather than using a system that's not working, just get rid of it. There's other ones out there. So I have Twitter and Getter there, then Instagram and Telegram is the last one, Airplane Jane XRP both, which we will look at why I love XRP. Let me just grab the setup over here for us. There we go. And you guys can see every morning I do create my watch list. So I'm going to leave it up here on the right today for you guys to see it and know that it's available on my website. Monthly, it's there. Monthly, 3 months, 6 months, or yearly. And amazing trade setups. You guys can see I had 433.20 today as, hey, if we go below this, there's a nice potential short all the way back down here, down to this 4 EMA on the daily, a nice $3 move to the downside. If you had just a couple of put options on that, even if you'd shorted, 10 shares, you would have paid for the entire month. So definitely check it out at cjanetrade.com. I'm just checking out over here, move this so you guys can see this better. It's been a while. I feel a little out of sorts over here. All right, so we've got that. Let's get rid of some of this stuff on here, making it a little busy for you. You might not be able to see this, but let's look at the SPY in the big picture. Yes, everything is good. Thank you, Salt Life. Everything is good. Just been, I was feeling a bit of burnout, and so I just had to take a little bit of personal time. That's it. And spent some time with my daughters at home from daycare and school and everything like that. But it feels like that perfect storm is setting up, right? We haven't had really a big red day in the market for 6 trading days, which is kind of odd. And most of the time we will see that we go up 3, we pull back, up 2, pull back. But 6 days in a row is pretty odd. It does tend to happen before the 4th of July. I'm good, Asif. How are you? And today on my list, the really big reason why we see that the SPY, oh my goodness, now the Qs are down big time. That wasn't like that about half an hour ago. I was messing around on my broadcasting platform. Hello, Taran, as well. So the big reason why SPY, IWM, and DIA are down is, let's go over here. Let's go to ETF database, ETF database, no, just ETF.com, because I want to show you. When the financials are doing really, really well, the banks, they're doing amazing. You know what happens? Everything moves to the upside. Well, I'm going to show you why. When we look at the Russell 2000, right? We look at the Russell 2000 and we see that 21% of the Russell 2000 is financial stocks. So when the financials are doing well, which in general, banking tends to do really well. It's fairly consistent, fairly safe as terms of an investment. However, when it's not doing well, it's going to pull down the Russell first, which is many times the reason why we see the Russell move down first on those fluctuations, right? So we have the Russell, and then we have the Dow Jones that would be number 2 with holdings that are financials. And that would end up pulling it back, the second one, to really show a big movement. You can see here we have financials are 15%. More technology here. So if the technology area is stronger, it's not going to be offset as much by the financials, but financials are 15%. And when we look at the SPY, we see that for the SPY S&P 500 ETF, that ends up having 13% of financials. So you'll see that the financials do play a role. When they're strong, they're going to help to lift up the indexes. When they are weaker, right here, they're going to end up drawing it down. Well, if we look at XLF, that is the financials ETF, right? So you can see, hey, it was really strong and it was moving to the upside. We had the indexes moving to the upside. Now today, it's weaker. It's pulling back. Let's see. Is that corresponding to the SPY? Yes, big down candle. Is it corresponding to the Russell today with the biggest drawdown? Remember, that is the biggest move to the downside. Yes. Really watching this to see, hey, if we close below 223.30, there's a really good chance that we could end up continuing down. That is going to be the anchored VWAP from back here on... That's February 17th. You guys can't see it because my little picture's in the way. Let's see if I can move that over. And so if we close below this area right here, I have an alert. Let's set up another alert. We could see, hey, the Russell's really being pulled down by the financials. Financials are definitely weaker. At 4:15 today, we have the Fed right here. Here we go. Today's Tuesday, July 6th. 1 p.m. is commercial paper announcement coming out. So how much is out there commercially on paper? And then we have foreign exchange rates. They tend to announce these foreign exchange rates once a month, right? This is their international rates that they have. And so many times they announce those beginning of the month and they're adjusted. And then they play around with it, the rates based on other monetary policy and stuff like that. But they do tend to have a monthly announcement that comes out. That is going to be today after 4:15. There's definitely some talk about other, we saw, let's see the headline as well over here. Let's go to Venezuela loses 6 zeros. There we go. Venezuela to slash 6 zeros from its currency. So it was so devalued, right? They are getting rid of 6 zeros. So from their bolivar. So that's going to affect them. Lebanon as well is one of the most heavily hit economies around the world. They had 170% inflation over the last Lebanon, inflation. They had 170% inflation over the past year since 2020. Here we go. Food prices soar 400%, and that's even from February 11th. 400%. Are you prepared if your food prices go up 400%? There's been so much going on with cyber hacking too, that Are you prepared should the power system go down? Should the food stop being produced by farmers? Let's see, U.S. farmers paid not to produce. Let's see if we have an article on that. I did see a video that they were paying them not to, here we go. The Biden administration will pay farmers more money not to produce, more money not to farm. Why? Why are they not farming? Hey, Kevin. So this is kind of weird that it's coming out, hey, the administration is paying farmers not to produce food. Well, we're not back in 2020 where everybody's at home not going out to restaurants. It's the exact opposite this year. And we're seeing that the Biden administration wants them not to produce food. Why? A little speculative. Yeah. So what happens if supply chains start to get shut down? If we start to see ports getting shut down as well, all these cyber hacking, there was Klaus Schwab was talking about setting up the biggest cyber attack as an exercise on the 9th of July. So just be aware of all of this stuff. Look up AAA from the FDR administration. All right, let's look it up. AAA, FDR admin. Agricultural Adjustment Administration, history. I might have to do research on this, Austin. Let's see. Establishes Agricultural Adjustment Administration under Henry Wallace. Marked the New Deal program to restore prosperity during the Great Depression. Awesome. I will definitely check it out. Yeah. But are we in the Great Depression yet? No, right? Supposedly the economy is at the best it's ever been. So why are they telling farmers to not produce food? Right? It's very weird to me. All right, let's get back to the market. So with the financials, just wanted to pull in the Fed and all that other stuff that's seeing going on. Since they were also having the financial meetings over in Europe as well, talking about it. So here, this looks like, if we pull this back on a weekly chart, it looks like a dead cat bounce to me, right? These are dark pool print levels. So we pulled back, bounced, and hit that 37, and now it seems like we're rolling over. I would look more for a close below 35.93. And then that's probably going to be an indication that the banks are losing some steam. There's been a lot of FOMC talk and chatter about raising interest rates. We do have the FOMC minutes coming out tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here. So keep all of that on watch. The PMI numbers today were worse than expected for the US. Tomorrow we'll have a bit more on the announcements fronts with the job openings and then economic optimism. But it's always interesting because sometimes they will adjust the numbers after the fact and they don't really put that out in the press. They'll adjust them higher or lower, but they don't really put it out in the press that they have adjusted. All right, so really watching the banks here. Now we're red on all of the indexes. Let's see, the Qs hit all-time highs, and now we're really extended. Again, this is a weekly. Let's pull it back to a daily. So we're coming back down all-time highs. You could have made profit long and short. So Austin saying AAA was a federal law of the New Deal era to boost agricultural prices by reducing surpluses. Government bought livestock for slaughter and paid farmers subsidies not to plant on part of their land. Yeah, well, they're doing it again now. But the prices, at least for me up here in Canada, are definitely higher. How about for you guys? Are you seeing that the prices of food and goods have gone up based on oil and also based on inflation with this constant printing of money? I would be wary of reading too much into the food production. I think it may just be an effort to reduce food waste, greenhouse gas emissions, and allow land to regenerate nutrients. We have more than enough land, but it's because of soil depletion due to monocultures. And maybe also all the genetically modified foods, right? That really don't get all the nutrients that everybody needs because of all the modifications. All right. So looking at the Qs were the strongest today. Let's look at it on a shorter time chart. It really just had a crazy dramatic drop. I don't know if there was news that was coming out to that made this drop, but did we see it in the dark pool prints? You bet. Also down below in the description area, I have the link for the dark pools workshop that I did, and that was, I'm going to put it in the chat here. This is a 2-hour workshop that I did talking, oh goodness, let me do this. Open link in new tab. Where I was talking all about where the banking system is going. So it is not any surprise to me that we are seeing all of this happen, and being able to position yourself for it is going to be something that will be amazing. There's the link if you guys want to check it out. Yeah, you know what, but what are they putting in that synthetic food, right? They already had Beyond Meat. Everybody went crazy for it, thinking this is so much healthier. But if you look at the oils, the nutrients in it, all the chemicals that are in it, it's not that good. Okay, so Salt Life. So what's the plan? There are 50 million other ways to take care of this without the drama. Without the drama in which way, Salt Life? I mean, right now, hey, do you know how to grow your own food? Awesome. Grow your own organic vegetables, right? Learn how to fish. Learn how to shoot, right? Who knows how to gut an animal? Who knows how to catch fish? Who knows how to shoot a gun, right? That if you are solely set up on the food supply chain, did you know that grocery stores have 72 hours worth of food in it? With all the heat waves, even in Oregon, Washington, Vancouver, upstate New York, they were shutting down the cold food section for the dairy because it was just breaking the systems. They were not set up. Their refrigeration coils were not set up for all that heat up above in trying to cool the air. All right, so here we have the Qs. They had a big drop down, nice run higher, hit 3650 all-time high and pulled back. So we are seeing that all of these indexes have hit all-time highs. We always hit an all-time high before we have a major crash. It's just the way the market is. It's sort of that climax up into the end, and then it drops. Final move up, buyer's exhaustion, and then a big move to the downside. Where are we going to end up today on the Qs? Well, it's not abnormal for it to pull all the way back down here to the 4 and bounce, which is what we saw. Now, did we have any dark pool prints that were around there? I don't know, because I haven't seen the past half an hour, and that was a big move in the past half an hour from 358 down to 356.40. Russell today as well. Hey, been setting up. This was an anticipated move to the downside for sure. Definitely saw that this was coming. Big dark pool prints. Very big dark pool prints. Also very big dark pool prints on many banks and mortgage companies. Then we have, we saw this, right? BCS. And guess what? Let's go over here. Let's look at this one. Barclays, closing, Marks and Spencer's. Yeah, we'll check at it. We'll check on it. Here we go. Marks and Spencer's banks shut all current, oh, that's 3 months old. Excuse me. They have it. It was just came out this weekend. March, June, no, hold on. There was one where UK banks speed up plans to axe branches. Barclays is closing down their branches. That was 3 months ago, but this is actually happening. It just came out over the weekend that they will be closing down their branches in all of the Marks and Spencer stores. So that's probably the biggest, oh, look at that, the biggest closure since 2015 for Barclays. So when we start to see big prints on the banks, right? Pay attention to all of this. Big one out here on TD as well. Now, they just had earnings back here, beginning of June. They do have dividends. Maybe it was some dividend buying, maybe not. But this chart is not looking super bullish to me. I don't know. How about you guys? Do you think that looks really bullish and nice and yummy? Or we just have the 20 crossing over the 50? Not good. Granted, it's not the 50 crossing over the 200, but we start to see the, you know, those faster moving averages crossing over the 50, that monthly or month and a half. All right, so what's the plan? What are my thoughts on Nokia? Let's check it out, Austin. Let's check out Nokia. So Nokia on the 24-hour looks a bit like a cup and handle. If it can close up above 570, good chance that we might see a nice $2 move up here to 750. Looks good. But on the daily, right? But it would need to hold up above up here. It would need to continue to move up. Otherwise, it's in a bit of a downward trend right here. Right? It's not looking so positive right there. We got to have it close up above that handle. And let's look up MND. All right, this is not looking so positive to me. It's looking like it is, well, pharmaceutical, number one. I try to stay away from pharmaceuticals, but a bit of a downward trend right there. We have the upward trend here, but it's in a wedge. So waiting to see which one. How can you look up short interest on Nokia and MDM? All right, just come over here, daily short volume. You can do short volume or short volumes. I like the one with the S because it will give you this down here. It will give you this chart. Oops, it's on Apple right at the moment, but it'll give you this chart right here and it'll show you, hey, this is what the last 5 days on average were. This is what the last 10 days on average were. This is what the last 20 days on average were. This is Apple, for example. So you can put in, let's see, Nokia. Right here. So it was 36%. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's an awesome resource. Do not get confused between short interest and short volume though. Short interest is 2 weeks old. That's old information. You can look at it though, short stocks. Let's see. Right here, there's one. Here we go. highshortinterest.com is another one. And this will show you, this is information that's 2 weeks old, remember though. So it'll show you, all right, well, this has 36% of the 112 million are short. Kevin saying, what moving average were you using on the 24-hour chart? I have a couple on there, Kevin. Do you have a particular color that you were looking at? So let's also look at Apple really quickly because Apple was surging higher. All of these were green. What happened to Facebook? Did some news come out about Facebook? It was super green on the day. So is Apple. That does not look bullish to me at all. Let's see if there's any news. Facebook, Twitter, Google reportedly threatened to pull services in Hong Kong over proposed changes to law. Twitter loses immunity over user-generated content in India. So nothing too crazy. Facebook, Google, Twitter could quit Hong Kong. Okay, well, I'm pretty much quitting Facebook. But that's my personal decision. The fastest. The pink one is the 4. Kevin, it's the 4. EMA. So if you guys also like the live stream, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications, and share with your friends, because this is all free information to help you guys and to help others. So share it, right? My pleasure, my pleasure. So looking at this, really starting to see some of the big majors. Let's go to SPY holdings really quickly. I put them in order today. That's a lot of red on the board, right? That's a lot of bleeding that we are seeing on the board today. Apple and Amazon. Amazon's really leading the way with 3% up. But overall, out of the 500, I think it's 503 stocks right now, majority of them are pulling back. Oh, sure. I am still on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I am on Telegram and Getter, but I'm not really using Getter just yet. Feeling that out right now. And let's see. Sends. Nope, I don't want to do paper trading. Thank you. So right here, I'm seeing it's kind of in a range right now. Is it going to break out one way or the other? But you see that? It's going up and down. So if it breaks down below 317, likely lower down here, or if it can, it's not looking positive at the moment. All those moving averages are rolling over. SPCE, yeah, let's check it out, Salt Life. SPCE came up, but it's having a bit of hard time breaking above this trend line over here. It's rejected it a couple of times. So if we go to a weekly, we'll be able to see it even better, to see that rejection area. Yeah. And then we have this over here. So it's pulling back, could surge higher, but right now it looks like it's a bit on the downside. Right, for SPCE. Is it going to break down below this 20 simple moving average right there on that trend line, which we set up on the weekly? Or is this going to rebound and break out of this ascending triangle? Let's check out ATOS. Did I already do ATOS? And then we'll look at some crypto as well, because crypto is definitely warmer today. It did have, I don't like ATOS so much. I'm not such a big fan of pharmaceuticals. This is a little cheat you guys could put on too. Hey, look, this is not looking so positive. It looks like it has pulled back and it is heading to the downside, right? This might just be a little bit of an up day, sort of a rubber band pull back to those averages, average trend line area, and then we'll continue more to the downside. So let's check out the crypto segments. These are my top crypto holdings over here. IOTA is doing really, really well today. So these in particular are ones that I anticipate to be part of the new banking system. And in that presentation is where I basically break it all down for you. I give you all that evidence. So definitely check it out. Check out that workshop. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. So here we have IOTA on the daily, and you can see here we have bigger volume. It's just coming up. Are we going to break above that 20 simple moving average up at 0.849? Actually, this one for cryptos, put it on 26. So we would want to see it break up above 90 cents really. I'd like to see that 90 cents. Hey, it was also resistance over here. It's going to, it was support over here, excuse me, and see it move and break above that resistance. That would be amazing to see that. ALGO as well has had a nice rebound off of the 70 cent area. What program is this you're using? Yeah, this is TradingView. Sure. If you just go to tradingview.com, here, I'll give you the link, 2 seconds, as I am one of their partners. They in fact asked me if I would do YouTube videos for them, so I gotta get back to them. Crazy, crazy busy, which is a blessing, right? Here we go. And I'll tell you a little secret, but shh, don't tell them, okay? That if you guys try it, right? You try it, try the high-end one for free for 30 days. And then you will get the Black Friday discount once you're done the trial period. And so that's a little trick you can get the great deal. All right. XRP as well. This is the Canadian version. Depending on the exchange rate, sometimes it's higher than the US. XLM. Really, really love XLM. You can see we bounced right over here, came up, and We've rejected that 26 EMA and the 425. I really like the 425 EMA as well. And a new one that I played around with, which is a 336 SMA. XRP is just sort of going sideways. The 1st of July, they did issue out another billion XRP Ripple coins. So looking to see, we're just sort of in that holding pattern. This Thursday, SEC also has SEC meetings. They have their sunshine meeting. This has been delayed and delayed and delayed. They keep pushing this back every single week. So let's see if they've closed it. No, okay. It's still due to be on at 2 p.m. They do have a 11 a.m. open meeting, which is also part of the Sunshine Act, talking about diversity, inclusion, and private investment subcommittees, including potential recommendations from these subcommittees and the evolution of advice subcommittee, including a panel discussion. So that's happening at 11, but then they're closing the doors at 2 o'clock. This closed door meeting keeps getting postponed. In my opinion, I think it has to do with the Ripple lawsuit, which seems like it's just keeps getting drug out. So XRP, in my opinion, likely the bridge central currency for central bank digital currencies. All right, let's check out that. I think I have it over here on this crypto list from our crypto room, Crypto Tunities. If you go to the dark pools and you want to check it out, it is $9 for the first month, and then after that it jumps up. But you can usually very easily lock in those $9. Yeah, we'll check it out. PLTR. Everything's monetizable. That's funny. So this looks like it's ready to head down. You see, I also have that little cheat on right now. Everything, Lewis, that this is not looking good. We're below the moving averages. It has curled back down again. Is this going to continue back down and find a base down here on that 425 EMA? It's not looking super bullish. To me, it would need to close up above the 200 and that 26 simple moving average. All right, let's check out PLTR really quickly. PLTR had lots of volume last week, and it looks like the trend did change. We had big volume up here, and we have rejected it, and we're moving back down. I would readjust this and put it like that. So we have it from the highs over here. It looks like a bit of a channel, so maybe we're going to see it come all the way back down to roughly that 22 area and then move to the upside. Wish was on my list today. Hold on, let's go back here. There we go. Yeah, my pleasure, Louis. Is it Louis or Luis? Which one? All right, see, there we go. Wish was on my list today. WB was on my list as a potential long. So you guys saw the list earlier, but this one had a gap and drop today. Rig today, we'll go just run through this really quickly. Rig also pulled back on the day. Not surprising. Many times you'll see that we have a gap up, and if it's at the top, we also have the market pulling back. So that's a good reason as well why we see these things pull back. Wish was on potential to move to the upside, had a little bit of a retracement trade up to the averages and is coming back down now. AMC, the big one. Did you know AMC is the top holding in the Russell 2000? I was really surprised to see that today, but that's likely drawing down on this Louis. Okay, got it. So this is looking bearish to me for all those in the ape army. This is not looking good, even as much as people want to buy the calls and force that gamma squeeze right now. Right now, the big boys have been selling it. So we did have some dark pool prints. And so right now, that motion, it looks like it's just ready to do one of these, right? I mean, you guys see it with those moving averages. So if it comes down, we have a firm close below the 50 price dollar mark. I think we're going to see it very quickly move back down here to 46, 45. Then if we break $45, it's likely going to fill this gap on down to 36 and fairly quickly. I think a lot of stops will likely get taken out, And we've broken that upward trend, right? We had this nice upward wedge for a little while. If we measure here, 43 to 70, that's 27 points. We've now broken down over here from 52 minus 27. We're looking at this coming back down to $25. And if you look at the time frame that it took for that to happen, it went from 25, we'll call it up here in the middle, 14, I'd say likely AMC down to $25 in the next 2 weeks, if not faster. But that would be what I would be looking at that. Let's check out BlackBerry. So BlackBerry, same thing. It's got a slow grind. Looks like we have this gap to fill down here, 1060, but we might see it stop right around here at that 1125 area with a little bounce, and then further. Oh, look, there we go. IWM crossing down 223.94. Did we just put that on there? I feel like we just put that on there. This is getting ugly, huh? It's getting pretty ugly over here. So let's see what happens. We have a lot of those smaller stocks, small caps that are pulling back and the Russell 2000 is definitely being hindered by them. We're definitely seeing the banks feeling it. If we close below 35.89 here, I anticipate that we will be seeing 35 fairly quickly again. This is not bullish. This looks like that dead cat bounce. Hey, consolidate up here, test that 50, sell off of it, sell off of it, sell off of it, and now we have that pull down. Yeah, I believe I did wish, didn't I? Didn't I do wish? Yeah. Wish had a bit of a bounce, and now it's setting up to pull back down to the downside. WBT was one that I was watching. This, every time it gaps up, pulls back, gaps up, pulls back, gaps up. Hey, as soon as we break 25.19, bye-bye. This is heading up to the moon, in my opinion. This is going to have a nice little short squeeze to it. You can see when that happens, the volume definitely comes in when we have those moves. Everybody's watching it to break a new high. TIGR was on my short list today. Definitely continuation move to the downside. BZ with Kazoon Limited. Big drop to the downside. 52-week low. Many times when you start to see stocks setting 52-week lows, they continue to move to the downside. Yes, Lockheed Market. Well, check it out. Let me just run through NEO right here. So NEO is pulling back a little bit more on the day. It looks like it's setting up much like Tesla, NEO, XPEV, and Lee. Lee did have a nice move to the upside and then pulled back a little bit. But all of the electric car makers today seem to be taking a bit of a hit. Potentially that's in relation to oil pulling back as well. And I haven't checked airlines. Oil and airlines tend to trade inversely. When oil prices drop, airlines tend to have larger profits and tend to go up. Tesla's pulling back right now, down. But look at that. If you guys signed up, you'd had 2 shares. You could have made, what was that, $40 shorting 2 shares of Tesla today if you'd waited for that level break of $6.75. Could have taken it down $20, right? Or $25 almost. Paid for 1 month of my watch list at cjanetrade.com. So Baba as well, nice short there. Look at that. If you'd had 2 shares there that you shorted, you could have made $12 or $6 off it. That is the software, Kevin. It's the right over here, EMA crossover. See, I can take it off. It's a little cheat. No, not really a little cheat. It's just one of the indicators that you can add on to your platform, so you're able to see, and it goes based on the EMAs that you use and what cross you end up, what the slower and the faster EMA that you use. But that's on the daily chart right there. So let's check out Lockheed Martin, and then I'm going to ask you guys, put in your questions if you have any other questions. Otherwise, I will wrap it up after Lockheed Martin. So it does look like Lockheed Martin is bouncing right here off of this moving average. So I would look for this to close up above, actually optimally up above 385, right? Because it is in this downward trend. It might breaks above 380, 50. It might end up squeezing those shorts, as it does look like a bit of a downward trend right here, but it's been going sideways. So I'd really wait on Lockheed Martin for a break below 371 or up above right over here, 393. I would wait. Otherwise, it's just sort of going sideways, and that's not super easy. So, Erin, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it is tough. Also, timing in the market plays a role depending on what time you get in and get out. That's why I tend to do my live streams right now, because it's mostly market manipulation with the algorithms. So stay tuned. I also had some people ask me about Ticker Talker. Ticker Talker is going through a revamp right now and should be back very shortly, but it might be under a new name, new facelift to the platform, so do not fear. It will be coming back, and to all the subscribers there, that it will be up and running very, very shortly. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. Remember, these are my platforms on Twitter and Getter, it's Airplane Jane, then Instagram, Miss Airplane Jane, and Telegram, Airplane Jane XR People. If you guys ever have any questions, please feel free to email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Carpe Profit. Seize those profits one trade at a time.